So this is lesson number 27 in Algebra 2, and this is called rational expressions. Anytime that you can write something as a fraction, we call it a rational expression. You've been adding and subtracting fractions for years, and you need to find common denominators in order to do that. When you get into Algebra 2, it does not change. So if we have something like that, and we're adding 6 over x plus a, you cannot combine those unless you have common denominators. So one of the things that's very important here is in algebra, whenever you have a plus or a minus locks the number before and the number after together. This is one unit. This is not an x and an a. It's an x plus a. They cannot be separated. Now if this were x times a, yes, they can be separated. But that plus sign or that minus sign locks these two together. Very, very important to remember. Alright, so let's bring this down a little bit. And this is what we're going to do here. Now, we've talked about this other times, so let's continue with that direction. Alright, so I look here and I say I have an x here. What am I missing here that I have over here? It's not an a. I am missing an x plus a. So remember, these are locked together. So I need one over here. And if it helps to put it in parentheses, put it in parentheses, because it actually is. Okay. Now I'm looking here and I'm saying, well, what do I have over here that I don't have over here? Well, I don't have a standalone x. So let's do that. So now I have 4 times x plus a plus 6x, and this is over x times x plus a, and this is over x times x plus a. And because they're both over the same denominator, I'm going to write them as 4 times x plus a plus 6x all over x times x plus a. So now, when I'm at this point, I'm going to get some stuff out of my way here. When I'm at this point right here, I'm going to use distributive property with my 4 times the quantity x plus a and get 4x plus 4a plus 6x. And doesn't really matter if I do my distributive here, it's not going to help me out. So I'm going to combine that and that and get 10x plus xa over x times x plus a. You could write this part as x squared plus ax, but it just doesn't look very good having an exponent on there if you don't have to. So I would just leave it this way. Okay, let's look at example 27.2. We have x plus 2, and it's over x plus 4. We're adding 6, and then we're adding 2 over x squared. Alright, so again, looking for common denominators. And let's bring this down. In fact, let's rewrite this. I'm going to spread things apart a little bit. That always helps me. Alright, so let's get rid of this one. Move this up. Alright, so what do I have here? That's the same as 6 over 1. So what do I have here that I don't have here? A 1. Well, a 1's not going to change anything, so we ignore it. I mean, if you want to put a 1 on there, if that just helps you to know that you did that, that's great. I have an x squared here. Don't have any x squareds here, so I'm going to put an x squared over here. Now I'm going to look at the middle one. I've got a 6 over 1. What am I missing over here? I'm missing an x plus 4. And I do something on the top or bottom, I do it on the top. I'm also missing an x squared. I don't have one over here. And when I look here, what am I missing? I'm missing an x plus 4. Remember, those are locked together, so I like to put them in parentheses just so I remember that. And I've got a 1 there that I'm missing. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. I've got an x squared times x plus 2. I have a 6x squared times x plus 4. I have a 2. And my denominators are okay, so I'm going to put the whole thing over that. So I can, let's just erase this one, since they're all the same, and I'm going to make this line longer. Okay, that looks pretty messy. Well, let's do distribution here. Okay, distribution there. And here. All over. Okay. So let's get rid of some stuff here so that we can, let's get this out of here and make this go up. Okay, so this is our final at this point, and we're going to combine like terms. So I can combine this one with this one, get 7x cubed. So that goes away and that goes away. And then I've got a 24x squared. I don't have anything to combine with it. So that goes away. I've got a 2x and a 2x, so that gives me 4x. And that goes away. And then I have an 8. And that's all over x squared times x plus 4. Okay. That's as simplified as I can go. There's nothing else I can bring together. I cannot cancel this x squared with anything. I could, because this x squared is multiplied by this, so it's cancelable. But all the other x's in here have pluses, and that locks this whole thing together. So I can't just cancel this x squared with this one, because this x squared is part of the whole top because of the plus signs. So nothing can be separated. Very, very important. Whereas this x can be separated from this parenthesis of x plus 4. These are locked together, but this is not locked with this because there's no plus or minus sign. But that is what we end up with. So let's look at one more and we'll be done. Okay, so this is example 27.3. This one is another one of those that can be a little tricky unless you recognize that this can be factored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there are two numbers added or subtracted that are multiplied together give me 3 and added give me 4. And of course the only option is a 3 and a 1, because 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So if I can rewrite that just like that. And then I've got 1 over x times x plus 1. Alright, so now let's see. I'm going to bring this over here so I have a little more room. Let's see what we're missing. So I've got that, and I'm looking at that. What am I missing here? Well, this has an x plus 1, so does this. This does not have an x all by itself, so let's put the x there. And let's see, what else do we have? Over here, we have an x and an x plus 1, but we don't have an x plus 3. Okay, so now I have an x times x plus 2 all over this purple is kind of hard to read. I don't think I'm going to be using that anymore. And I always like to put my numbers that are added in parentheses like that. Okay, now I can do distributive. And minus. And I'm going to put the whole thing over my denominator because I can combine those. Okay, so let's move this all up here. Whoops. I got too much stuff down here. Go, line. Okay, so this is what I've got when it all is said and done that I need to keep going on a little bit. X squared plus 2x. Now I've got a minus right here in front of my parentheses, so to take my parenthesis off, I change my signs. Over. Alright, combine like terms. 2x minus x is just 1x. And at this point, I am done. That's as simplified as I can go. So that's it for lesson number 27.